Oh my god.
Unintentionally scared a woman that was with the group, and she screamed and ran up the stairs yelling help.
One good sign is that these are my footprints and they're wet, and I haven't seen any other wet.
We begin with a truly unsettling encounter. This first clip is taken from Exploring with Josh Extra, a secondary YouTube channel that supplements the well-known Exploring with Josh series. While the main channel focuses on polished urban explorations, this extra channel features extended footage, raw scenes, and behind-the-scenes moments not included in the primary videos. On July 11, 2024, a group of explorers entered a long-abandoned hospital, expecting the usual signs of decay: dark hallways, peeling paint, and crumbling structures. Instead, they were surprised to discover something far more unexpected. Hallways fully illuminated, lights still functioning, and sections of the building partially flooded. As they continued deeper inside, the atmosphere shifted.
Zombie apocalypse, Walking Dead, Resident Evil, employee health. All we got is some freaking red lights out here. Where's that morgue, baby? Where's the morgue at? Damn, you still got syringes. By the way, this place had over 200 beds for patients here. It's a pretty big hospital. Morgues are always in the basement, so if we're gonna find it, we gotta go into the basement.
The presence of artificial light in a place that should have been disconnected raised immediate concern. That unease only grew stronger when strange sounds began echoing from the building's lower levels. Following the source of the noise, the group descended into the basement. There, they began to make out faint but intelligible voices, prompting them to search further.
I hear people. We're gonna go sneak and see what we're gonna find. I think it's the TV.
We're totally twins, and we all know 2 is better than 1.
So when I got a new iPhone, T-Mobile,
I got one too.
now we can have twice the fun, literally.
Right, like when we take pics together.
She always knows how to capture my good side.
Yo, that is freaky. One good sign is that these are my footprints and they're wet, and I haven't seen any other wet footprints. So it could just be left on. Okay.
As they crept through the flooded corridor, it became clear that the noise was coming from an active radio, playing clearly despite the environment. The fact that a radio was still operating in the boiler room of an abandoned facility raised questions. There was no one else visible, and yet the sound echoed unnervingly through the empty underground space.
It could be down there. Yeah, let's see if we have any cool rooms here before we skip. Can't skip anything. I know there's rooms that are really set up nice around here. Yeah. Possibility this goes to the morgue. We're getting closer, maybe? Oh my god, yes, we found it, we found it.
You found it?
Yes.
Alright, we found it. They found it. You found it.
Oh man. Dude, it smells! You smell that? It smells in here! Oh man. It's so nasty.
As they searched the basement further, they discovered rooms still intact, with some medical equipment still in place. Eventually, they located what they had been looking for, the hospital's morgue. But the moment they entered, they were overwhelmed by a thick, nauseating stench that seemed to seep from the walls themselves. Even more disturbing was the discovery of examination gloves, dried stains resembling blood, and what appeared to be a sealed medical blood bag, still vibrant red, as though it had never been exposed to air. Power was still running in the morgue, and the freezer units were operational, though empty. The air was heavy, the smell unbearable.
Get out of here.
Oh, let me sniff this in really quick.
Dude, you don't want to. It smells so bad. Dude, it's so nasty.
Yo guys, we found the floor.
Yeah, we found the morgue.
And I hope you all know what this is. This is the freezer where they put the bodies in. The power's on. No way.
Oh my god, dude, that thing scared me for a second.
Oh my
Holy
god.
crap. Like, for a second, I thought that was something. Like, what the?
That's unbelievable. I mean, this is life, you know? But that's, you know, just the whole fact that it's abandoned. Examination gloves. Dude, I never smelled anything so bad in my life. I wish y'all can smell it. Let's go. I know that can't be blood, but it's still something. Unless it is. Like blood that, you know, you can donate to, but I think it would be brown. I have no idea. Yo, okay, now if that is a blood bag, the reason why it's still red is because it never touched the air, so it's not drying up. The ring's gonna come out of this. Now we found some big boy stuff right here. It's a huge safe. Let's check out how the lock looks. Damn.
The keys to the whole place.
Oh, dude. Yeah, so the keys that unlock all the doors I already know have been taken. These are just
for small things.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Biohazard, we're going in. No, we're not. Wait, never mind, we're going in. Oh, dude. I don't even want to know what's in there. That's good enough for me.
Kick it.
Nope, that's good. Wait, man. This one's all set up. With the light still on.
Like this is where they draw the blood.
Oh, they take the blood samples?
Yeah.
Continuing their exploration, they stumbled upon a locked safe and an assortment of keys, though none seemed to grant further access. Then came the biohazard signs. Though hesitant, the team pressed on into another area, lit unnaturally and filled with containers possibly used for blood collection or storage. The deeper they went, the more inexplicable things became. Bright lights, sealed blood bags, operating radios, and the unmistakable smell of rot. All pointed to something more sinister than simple abandonment. The presence of functioning electrical systems, combined with biological materials that appear oddly preserved, raises several possibilities. One theory is that someone may be secretly maintaining parts of the hospital or using it. Another interpretation leans toward the paranormal, suggesting that the location may be a site of residual or intelligent hauntings. What's more unnerving, the idea that someone was still using the space, or that no one was, yet the equipment continued to run. Whatever the case, this exploration blurs the line between forgotten places and something far more active. Would you ever explore a place like this at night? Hold on a sec. If you're enjoying this so far, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Let's continue. This video comes from D-Dog Vlogs, a Canadian YouTube channel focused on urban exploration and the documentation of abandoned or historical properties. The channel is known for venturing into locations that are not only decaying, but also potentially dangerous. On January 9th, 2020, the team revisits a derelict home with a disturbing past. During a previous exploration, one of the members, Ethan, narrowly escaped injury when a trap involving a knife nearly struck him in the head. Upon returning, the group proceeds with extreme caution. It doesn't take long before they notice that several sharp implements, primarily knives, are still attached to tripwires throughout the house. These wires are clearly not accidental. They appear intentionally rigged to cause harm to anyone who enters unaware.
The water's off. What is this?
Where's that wire go to? It's broken.
It's broken. Somebody might have gotten rid of the booby traps. Oh, there's another wire right here. There's wires all over the house, guys. Look at, there's a wire right there that actually shows up on camera.
Where does that go to?
I don't know. That knife is sketch, dude.
Careful.
Yeah, that's definitely a booby trap, dude. There's no other reason for that to be like that. Oh, yeah. Oh, they had it booby trapped, so when you open the door, the knife swung down.
Really?
Come look at this. Somebody probably set it off before you, but you can see it right here.
I don't know.
Be careful right there, because there's still a line attached to that, and I don't know what.
It's attached to something in the corner.
I kind of want to open it, but obviously at the same time I don't.
No.
Oh no, wait. That was the one that was attached to this, probably.
It's broken. Snapped.
This other one's definitely booby trapped, though. Wait till you see this, guys.
Oh, wait till I get it, guys.
Yeah, this is scary, guys.
Yeah, what is up, you guys?
Oh my god. Look at this.
Last time I was here, I actually almost died because of this right here. See this knife right here?
It was booby trapped, so when you open the door, this swung down at you.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna peek up, guys, and try to make sure there's no other.
Careful in here.
I'm kind of scared to step in here, guys.
Bro, I don't even know if I would.
Oh my god, it's so scary.
What's it connected to?
Wow, they had it set right up.
Did it really? Oh my god. We shouldn't even.
They even put a hook there, dude. It's on the old cane. And then there's the wire
We can't leave this hanging.
that used to hold that up.
Whole thing of wire on the fishing wire on the floor.
Yeah, that's what they were using to keep it up.
This is counter when he was in here. This almost hit him in the head.
That's crazy, and they had it fish lined, so when you open the door, it came down like this. Can you imagine that?
Damn.
Wow.
Yeah, it was very cold.
That's so scary. Look at that, Ethan.
Let it go.
done.
Like, back up, guys.
Back up, Ethan.
Yeah.
Go hit it.
Oh my god.
That's what happened. No, that is what happened. I was right here. I walked up the side and I must have stepped on the wire and it literally was right here. It came down, it was right here. I remember it. I remember hearing the noise and everything.
That's the moment your heart drops
Yeah,
through your
and then I
gut
ran out.
and you second guess exploring at that point.
Yeah.
Look at that.
As they inspect the structure, multiple lines and wires can be seen crisscrossing doorways and hallways. Some are clearly snapped, as if previously triggered, while others remain dangerously active. One such device appears to be set so that opening a specific door causes a large knife to swing downward, right at head level. The group is visibly shaken as they recount the previous close call. Ethan explains that during the last visit, the trap was almost activated directly in front of him. From their current vantage point, it's clear how deadly the mechanism could have been. It had been constructed with precision, fishing wire, pulleys, even hooks, to ensure it functioned effectively. Moving deeper into the home, they disable the remaining trap to avoid future harm. However, what they find next is even more troubling.
Alright,
It's attached to the wall, so we didn't.
nobody could come in and hurt themselves, and nobody's gonna be able to do it again.
No, it was for the best.
As of right now,
Insane.
it's 100% of all booby traps.
Hey.
It's drugs.
Yo,
Drugs.
why is there bags of here?
I don't know. I don't want to touch it.
No.
I kind of went away from it.
You
You guys have fun with that.
wait. Is that what? Is that
That's why it's booby trapped. Holy I am freaking out right now.
So you're thinking.
100%, 100%.
What is that? Is it?
It's a word you can't say on YouTube.
100%?
So you think that's why this was booby trapped right there?
Yeah, 100%.
So-
Why is this the only room that's booby trapped?
So then someone's coming back for this.
Uh-huh. This is a hiding spot for somebody.
So I'm gonna get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
I want you guys to smash the like button.
Oh my god.
So,
Just found 3 bags of
What the heck, dude?
narcotics.
It is, actually.
Oh my god, that's why it was trapped.
Oh my god.
No, we should get out of here.
Yeah, we gotta go.
Upstairs, in the very room the trap was guarding, several bags of unidentified material are left in plain sight on a pool table. Given the setup and level of danger, it quickly becomes apparent that this stash may have been intentionally protected, possibly narcotics, or something equally illicit. The team speculates that whoever left it behind could be planning to return, and realizing the risk, they choose to exit the property immediately. This video stands out as one of the more terrifying examples of abandoned building exploration. Not simply due to the environmental hazards, but because of the very real human dangers lurking within. The presence of armed traps and suspicious bags suggests the house might be in use for illegal activity. It's possible the traps were set as a deterrent for intruders, or worse, as a deadly surprise for those who stumble in unaware. The level of setup points to someone who was deeply protective of whatever was inside. What's more terrifying? The idea that these traps were meant for strangers, or that the person who set them is still watching. Urban exploration sometimes reveals more than just decay. It uncovers secrets people tried to bury. Would you ever step into a place like this? The next video tonight features a tense solo exploration from Jared Coker Urbex, a YouTube channel focused on uncovering forgotten spaces, abandoned warehouses, deteriorating homes, vacant factories, and more. On June 29, 2025, Jared enters a massive crumbling warehouse in St. Louis. As he explores the empty upper floors, a sudden noise breaks the silence, a deep, echoing bang that reverberates through the building. Initially dismissing the sound, Jared continues filming, but the noises persist. The echoes bounce unnaturally, making it hard to tell where they originate.
All right, we'll ignore that. I don't know though, there's echoing in here. I think people are in here. Yeah, I'm not so sure. Yeah, that echoing's in here. Someone somewhere is here. Well, never mind the place being kind of boring. I guess we have our drama now.
Okay. Guys, I know this is a bad time, but I had to change my battery and there was like
Another really loud boom getting closer to me, so there are definitely people down there somewhere. Like that. I think they're above me. But I was just saying before my camera died, maybe I could just go down into the creepy basement and hide. I don't know. No idea what they're banging or moving around. Look at that massive dolly. Thing's mega. Oh my god, this is nightmarish. The basement is like every bit as spacious as the floor above, but it all just looks like this. Oh, it's so hazy, you can't see anything. There's really no point to stay down here. There's nothing to see, other than maybe a furnace. I see one there. I am but a mere content creator, so I must kind of go everywhere and see everything. And avoid the potential threats upstairs banging everything around. Pipe hallway. These are the stairs on the other side. We literally just cut across the hole upstairs just below it, so.
With tension rising, he decides to head toward the basement, hoping to stay out of view while figuring out what's going on. The basement, just as vast as the upper levels, is dark and filled with debris. Visibility is low, and the air is heavy with dust and haze. There's little to see, but Jared continues cautiously, explaining that every part of a building deserves to be documented, especially when unexplained sounds are happening above. As he moves between hallways and stairwells, the unsettling atmosphere only grows. The occasional clang of metal or shifting debris keeps him on edge, and it's clear something, or someone, is in the building with him. Eventually, from a hidden vantage point, Jared spots the source.
And I still hear people. Oh, this is outside. Oh, there's a guy. Gotta duck down here. He's in this building down there. Don't know if he's scrapping or if it's illegal dumping or what, but it's loud. So those are the safest bets as I walk right out into the open. Oh, there's a pair of them. Hey. What's up? Yeah, that was stupid. They don't really care. They said what's up, but Yeah, they're hauling big heavy things. I drove by this place and there was a truck with a trailer parked in front of it too. Maybe that's theirs. They might just be taking metal debris and stuff out of here for their scrap. I don't know. I want to head to the upper floor. As you can see, we're right near the catwalk too. There's no one up here. I initially thought they were up here just because it sounded like it was hitting the ceiling, but it's just the reverb, I suppose. All right, here we go. Here's where two connect. I can hear them. And that is their trailer right there. We can spy on the scrappers. Yeah, look at that. Their teamwork lifting the massive pipes out of here. They're gonna throw it in their trailer there, take it to a scrapyard or something, and get money for it. Technically illegal. Still considered stealing, but they're gonna get away with it here because this place just sits so wide open and unguarded and nobody cares. Yo, maybe that's the big booms I was hearing. Maybe they were taking it from up here, dragging it like that line, and then throwing it down, creating those huge bangs. Look at that line. That's so exactly what they did. At least they didn't care that I was there. I mean, they're committing crimes, and I'm here with a camera. That could have gone wrong. Can I get out of here? Do I get roof access? I do. Full aerial. Uh-oh. It's drizzling rain a bit. Getting on the lens a little bit. We're gonna run this roof. This is really why I wish I hadn't forgot my GoPro in Kansas. Whew. Those guys left, by the way. Their trailer's gone. Now, I really do have all this to myself.
Two individuals are hauling large pieces of metal toward a waiting trailer. From the looks of it, they're likely collecting scrap material, possibly for resale. Whether it's legal or not is unclear, but their actions suggest they're not supposed to be there. He observes quietly, trying not to draw attention. The pair eventually spot him, but react calmly, offering a brief acknowledgement before continuing their task. Still, Jared notes how easily this interaction could have gone differently. Not all scrappers are so indifferent. Some may react aggressively to being filmed or confronted, especially in off-limits locations. As the men load large pipes into the trailer, Jared concludes they were likely responsible for the loud crashes he heard earlier, dragging materials across the floors and tossing them down into the lower levels. Once the trailer disappears, Jared realizes he now has the entire warehouse to himself. He climbs to the rooftop to capture aerial shots of the decaying structure as rain begins to fall lightly across the lens. With the scrappers gone and silence returned, the atmosphere becomes eerie in a different way, less threatening, but still hauntingly empty. This video serves as a reminder that abandoned places aren't always deserted. Whether it's scrappers, squatters, or other explorers, the potential for unexpected encounters is real. What's unsettling isn't just the physical danger, it's the feeling of being watched or unknowingly sharing a space with strangers who may not want to be found. What if the scrappers hadn't been so calm? What if Jared had stumbled upon something they really didn't want discovered? Urban exploration often walks a thin line between curiosity and risk, and this video proves how easily that line can blur. The next unsettling encounter comes from the channel Gorilla Hot Tortilla, run by a solo urban explorer named Hansi, whose videos often blend eerie exploration with possible paranormal phenomena. Known for entering abandoned structures, sometimes rumored to be haunted, on October 22, 2023, he enters a long-forgotten house, expecting a typical exploration. The atmosphere is quiet at first, with no signs of danger, just peeling paint and dusty furniture. But the stillness doesn't last. While walking through the kitchen, something shifts. The tension becomes palpable. Suddenly, in the adjacent room, a music box begins playing on its own, despite no one being near it. A cupboard creaks open shortly after, as if reacting to his presence. Upon inspecting the music box, he finds it intact. There's nothing wrong with it physically. Yet the timing feels deliberate. Just as he starts to wrap up the exploration, the situation spirals. A metallic cross inexplicably falls to the ground. A nearby cardboard box tumbles, landing squarely on his leg. And the same music box from earlier begins to play again, this time slower, more distorted. Attempting to exit through the same door he came in through, Hansi finds it jammed, stuck in place as if something is holding it shut. Forced to make a split-second decision, he escapes through a side window, clearly shaken by the experience. To this day, none of the phenomena have been conclusively explained. The combination of sounds, falling objects, and faulty exits made this one of Hansi's most unnerving investigations. Some viewers even claim to have spotted a shadowy figure lurking early in the video, though nothing was ever confirmed. Everything about this exploration seems deliberately timed. The objects, the sounds, even the malfunctioning door. Was this merely a series of coincidences fueled by an old building's natural decay, or something more intelligent? The recurring activation of the music box, in particular, raises questions that logic struggles to answer. Was Hansi truly alone in that house? Or was something watching, waiting for the right moment to make itself known? When the ordinary turns hostile, it becomes harder to deny that some places really don't want you there. The first video of the night features content from Urbex Hill, a YouTube channel centered on urban exploration across the US, particularly focused on decaying, historical, and forgotten buildings. On June 9, 2025, the creator sets out to explore a sprawling, deteriorating structure. Throughout the video, he documents various details, from bullet-scarred walls and collapsing law offices to waterlogged basement corridors. But as the exploration deepens, it becomes clear that the structure holds more than just the remnants of time. Early on, the sheer scale of the building raises concerns.
I wonder if that was somebody. What the hell? This place is so big, anybody can be here. Also, I don't know what floor that noise came from. I'm gonna try to listen for it.
hear nothing. I mean, to be completely honest, I wouldn't be surprised if I run into somebody homeless here, living. Court community service. Make sure I close these doors real quiet. I don't know, that noise was so loud. It may have been a group of people in here. What's this wet spot from? The ceiling is dry. This looks like the back rooms. At night, this place is honestly really creeping me out. It might just be because it's so dang big. What the hell? Somebody was up here. Chips, cigarettes, drinks.
Strange noises begin to echo through the space, untraceable, sudden, and loud. While navigating the upper floors, the explorer remains cautious, noting signs that others may be inside. Evidence like discarded food, drinks, and cigarette packs suggest recent human activity.
At this point in the video, I need to explain a few things. I started hearing a lot of noise coming from the stairwell nearby on the 9th floor, multiple voices and what sounded like music playing from a cell phone. So I quickly pressed record on my camera and turned my light off just in case they were hostile. Unfortunately, the camera audio was cutting in and out during the entire exploration, and it failed to capture the sound during this part. While sitting quietly in the dark, I listened, and they sounded like they might be fellow urban explorers. So I turned my light on and went to the stairwell to see who they were. When I got to the door, I unintentionally scared a woman that was with the group, and she screamed and ran up the stairs yelling, "Help!" That's when one of the guys racked his gun and shouted, "Who's down there?" I replied that I was just taking pictures of the building. It quickly became clear they weren't explorers, they were scrappers, and they were also using drugs while stripping the place. They began yelling and threatening to shoot me if I didn't leave. I started arguing back at them, saying I have a gun too, and that they needed to relax. After a bit of tense back and forth, I told them I'm leaving soon and I won't bother them. I then left the stairwell and went down the hall to a different stairwell so I could get to the lower section of the building to get away from them. Walked away, I could hear what sounded like at least 4 people yelling and cussing about me being there. One of them was even talking about me. This whole interaction made me pretty nervous, especially considering the number of bullet holes and shell casings I had already found scattered throughout the building. It was clear that these scrappers come here often, and were mad that I was in there, and it wouldn't surprise me if they fire off rounds to scare off explorers or anyone else who enters the building. Anyways, I just continued to explore the lower levels of the building, hoping they stay in the upper levels.
While filming on the 9th floor, he notices growing noise near a stairwell. Multiple voices, along with music playing faintly in the distance. Suspecting he's not alone, he turns off his flashlight and begins filming in the dark. Unfortunately, much of the audio from this portion is lost due to technical issues. From his account, he eventually approached the stairwell where the noise originated. Upon opening the door, he startled a woman who ran off, shouting for help. Moments later, a man cocked a firearm and demanded to know who was there. The situation quickly escalated. Though the explorer attempted to de-escalate, saying he was only there to take pictures, it became evident these individuals were not fellow urban explorers. They were metal scrappers, and possibly under the influence of substances. Their tone turned threatening, warning him to leave immediately or face violence. A tense exchange followed, during which the explorer decided not to press the situation. Instead, he exited the area and moved toward a different stairwell, aiming to distance himself.
That's crazy. I wish I could see.
Even as he moved away, angry voices echoed behind him. Given the building's earlier signs, scattered bullet casings and extensive damage, it was clear these individuals likely frequented the place and were protective of it. The situation worsens as he enters the lower levels. Down in the flooded basement, more yelling is heard, this time sounding deliberate, like they were searching for him. Heated shouting is followed by the unmistakable sound of gunfire. That's when he knows it's time to leave for good. Without hesitation, he exits the building. The footage serves as a sobering reminder. The real danger in abandoned places isn't always paranormal. Sometimes, it's other people. In this case, the sounds and threats were not the result of supernatural events, but rather real human conflict. The environment, bullet-ridden and deteriorated, suggests this building sees frequent activity from people seeking materials or refuge. The presence of scrappers with weapons shows how quickly an exploration can turn volatile, even without provocation. What would have happened if he hadn't left when he did? Could it have gone further? These encounters highlight why exploring abandoned places always carries unpredictable risks, and why the scariest part might not be the building itself, but the people hiding inside it. The final disturbing video comes from Franco Travels, a YouTube channel known for exploring abandoned and haunted locations across the globe, particularly in remote areas of Latin America. Many of the sites featured are secluded, underdocumented, and often carry dark reputations. On July 12, 2023, Franco ventures to an abandoned hotel that can only be accessed by boat. At first glance, the site appears deserted, but as he begins his exploration, it quickly becomes clear that something is off. Inside, he discovers a series of unsettling objects. What appears to be narcotics, old wristwatches potentially linked to theft, and bizarre items associated with religious iconography and possibly occult practices. Tension escalates as distant footsteps and muffled voices echo through the structure.
Yet, listen. I hear voices already. And look at this. Somebody's shoe. A weird type of shoe. Oh, what is that? Looks like some sort of doorknob thing. Goes on the door and you open it. Over here they have these little square indentions, and that's what they use to open up the door. Or the door latch. Alright, so I found something interesting. Look at this. It's an old card game. I could hear people again. Sounds like footsteps. But this is an old card game. I used to make people think I had tarot cards when I was a little kid in high school, but this is from the islands. I used to play this. I forgot how to play it though. Okay, I have to be extremely careful now. I hear voices, and I hope they're not coming to the room that I'm just in. I discovered something that is bad, and that's drugs. And I hear people downstairs. Check this out. What makes me nervous is that I think I'm in somebody's home right now, and I didn't even... Shit. And look what I found. Not only this is somebody's bed. Some watches. A lot of the times, this is stolen watches. I can hear them walking. A lot of the times these are stolen watches. But look at this. I think I found drugs. Let me know what you guys think that is. It's a white powdery substance. I'm not touching it. But that could be the coca, if you know what I'm talking about. Look at this. Ketchup. Oh, what is this? Look at this. Let me know if this is like a form of witchcraft or something. I don't know what this is. It's a little dusty. But that is interesting. I'm gonna put this over here. They're probably gonna know somebody came here. I just found this, a picture of Santa Teresa. Am I right? I can't see because it's moving too much, but it looks like Santa Teresa. Look at that.
The deeper he moves into the building, the more it feels like he's trespassing somewhere he shouldn't be. Scattered personal belongings, including bedding and furniture, suggest that someone may still be living there. Powdery substances, religious figures, and ritualistic symbols create an atmosphere of unease. Hanging shoes spotted outside the building, a detail often tied to illicit activity, further intensify the suspicion.
I think that's a picture of a saint. Look what I just found here. It looks like this guy's probably bipolar. It's a pentagram. How are you gonna have that and then start having a whole bunch of religious things over here? Oh, now that I'm looking around the room area, there's all sorts of stuff. I don't know what this is. You guys, again, let me know. Educate me in the comments so I could learn. If you listen outside, you could hear them walking over here. I still haven't seen them though. Listen. So I just seen this as I was walking out of the room. But when they're ever selling drugs, you would see that hanging off the trees. Look, shoes. That is an indicator that this is where the magic happened. And over here, there's another pair of shoes. I was looking at these up here. But right over here, there's another one, see? Get a load of that. So I just found two guys coming in here, but I'm kind of in the other side. I want to see if I could see them so I could show you guys. That might be the drug dealer. It might be. I think what really kind of gave it away were the shoes on top of the tree. Like, again, I'm in a secluded area here. Look, right there. See? He just looked at me and looked away. I'm just gonna pretend I'm recording the whole building here. And right there. Alright, I'm gonna walk out of here. Right now, they're directly behind me. Which... see if you guys can see it. I am taking a bit of a risk, but Just gonna pretend I'm unaware. So I'm gonna go ahead and walk out. This is stupid. Let me get out of here because they're going right into the house that I just... Okay, so I actually had to abandon what I was doing only because those guys are coming a little bit too close to me, so I walked away. I did not want to be kind of stuck in an enclosed area and having those guys come at me. They had, you know, they had that face. Like, you get that vibe. So I left the area for now. Again, I do have a couple of knives and pepper spray on me, but there's 3 of them, 1 of me.
Tenés que tratar de irte rápido porque ya empieza a oscurecer, encima va a llover y se pone peligroso. Este hotel abandonado es un sitio de narcos. Acá hacen negocio de droga, compra, venta. A veces hay asesinatos. Es peligroso. Así que antes de que oscurezca trata de irte. Aunque sea nadando, pero andate, si no te van a matar.
Still currently waiting for my boat to arrive so I can get the hell out of here. Because I'm not familiar with this area. But interesting enough. But I still haven't...
Suddenly, 3 unknown men enter the same structure. Outnumbered and uncertain of their intentions, Franco keeps calm, pretending to be just another passerby with a camera. He slowly backs away, careful not to draw attention. As they head toward the very room he had just left, he seizes the moment to escape. Visibly shaken, Franco waits for his boat to return, anxious to leave the area before nightfall. Later, a local would confirm his suspicions. The building had reportedly been used for drug-related activity, and intruding could have led to serious consequences. This encounter highlights the unpredictable risks of exploring remote locations. While many urban explorers search for abandoned history or paranormal traces, they can instead stumble into real-world danger, criminal activity hidden in plain sight. The items found, from potential narcotics to religious artifacts and makeshift living arrangements, suggest the site was still in use, just not for anything innocent. What if Franco had stayed just a few minutes longer? In places where silence hides secrets, the true danger isn't always the building. It's the people who still call it home. That's all for tonight's video. Which encounter gave you chills? Let us know in the comments below. Got your own experience? We want to hear it. And whatever you do, don't miss what's coming next.